Mamili lang mo kasi yung record. Hinahaglan mo.
Okay. So, good morning, panelists. Again, we are the Group 8 of TSRT 353C. We are proposing our study titled Factors of Social Relationships Affecting the Academic Performance of Third-Year Bachelor of Science in Radiologic Technology students. So, to start, allow me to define what is social relationships. So, social relationships is the interaction between one person and another and forming connections between them. So a student is not short of these social relationships and can be mainly classified into three main groups: a person's relationship with their family, a person's relationship with their friends, and the relationship with their school and the teachers. So in these studies right here, they all show that there are significant impacts of social relationships in the academic performance of the students, whereas we see that Charles finds a significant effect of social relationships on students' academic performance when there is a positive relationship honed in between the students, and these classifications is that there is a positive or there is a good academic performance that reflects upon these relationships. Meanwhile, in Manuel et al. Study, they states that any negative influence from peers can have a negative impact on the academic performance of the students. In Labastida's study, it shows that the decrease and the lack of interest of parents in the students' academic affairs shows reflects in the fact that there is a decrease in the academic performance of the students. However, there are conflicting results to these studies mentioned earlier, such as in Mayna and Kitanaige. Kitanaige states that the academic performance is reliant on the parents' involvement, only on the parents' involvement of the children, such as their parenting styles, how they cope with their children's emotions, and their support for the children. So, next slide, please. So, what we are facing with our study today is that there is no recent data on these regarding radiologic technology students. Most of the results of social relationships affecting the academic performance of the students are focused on secondary students, such as those in high school. It can be different now since this is a different demographic of students, because this is college and these are Bachelor of Science in Radiologic Technology students, which are in a more rigorous program and more academically demanding. So our aim as a group is to see if these social relationships still have an impact on the academic performance of the students of a different demographic of students. So it is also shown that since most of the time there is a direct relationship or there is an impact of social relationships on the academic performance, such as if there is positive relationships honed or positive relationships practiced by these students, is that their academic performance will be good, or that the relationship they hone will generally affect their performance as well. So to further discuss our study more, our group mates will continue on with our discussion.
So I will now be explaining some of our authors in our RRL. According to Lee, that there are numbers of factors that affect the students. There are numbers of factors of social relationship that affects the students' academic performance, and that includes family, peers, teachers, and other individuals, and peers can either have a positive or a negative effect on a student's academic performance regarding to their motivation at school. And next is, according to Philately, that their academic performance is significantly affected by their peer groups, and that their academic performance is heavily reliant on their chosen peer groups. There is a strong correlation that exists between their academic performance and their chosen peer group. And according to Mensa B, that teacher-student interaction, teacher-student interaction, according to Mensa B, that teacher-student interaction will significantly affect their academic performance, and that and that
Ayan, andyan na lang. Academic performance of students. Sige, proceed ka na sa next.
And then, according to Basi, that a student must choose the right group of peers to be able to have a positive effect on their academic performance. That's all.
So I'm the presenter for the conceptual framework and theoretical framework of our study. So for our independent variable, our independent variable are the factors of social relationship, namely the peers relationship, family members relationship, and student-teacher or teacher-student relationship. Of all the other types of relationship, we only chose these specific three as they are what the students most commonly interact with in their life of education, such as that students at school are surrounded by their classmates and friends, hence the peer relationship. And then when they get home, they frequently interact with their family, especially their parents. And then in their education, they mostly learn by interacting with their instructors or teachers, whether directly or indirectly. And their academic performance is dependent on these three factors of social relationship. And their academic performance can be measured by their GWA, or General Weighted Average, of the school year 2022 to 2023, first and second semesters. So for our theoretical framework, we have chosen two theories to support our study. One is the social exchange theory, where it is cited by Cherry, and she supports her claims, originated from George Hall. So the theory employs a cost-benefit framework that explains how people interact with one another, form relationships and bonds, and build communities. So we will be using this theory to evaluate the effects of social relationship on the students' academic performance. The next is the Elder's theory of academic performance, where he refers the term perform as the capability to provide a valuable outcome, and then the term performer as an individual or group that collaborates, with the performance level indicating where a student is in their academic journey. So he listed 6 components in his theory of academic performance, namely a student's level of knowledge, level of skills, level of identity, the context of performance, and their personal factors and fixed factors. So with this theory, we can determine the performance level and academic standing of students. We can anchor this theory in the students' GWA, as it is the collective reflection of their performance level, which is aforementioned in the theory, and such as that their GWA is evaluated with these 6 levels mentioned earlier in mind.
So for the statement of the problem, what is the level of social relationship of the third-year radiologic technology student in terms of the peer relationship? The peer relationship is yung mga classmates na yung kung paano sila makipag-interact with each other, yung may mga student din na hindi sila ganun ka open when it comes to makipag-mingle sa other student. Next is the family members relationship. Family members relationship is about kung paano ang mga student sa loob ng bahay and yung mga And when it comes to their allowances monthly, yun din yung factor na mabigay sa family members relationship. Teacher-student relationship is mostly yung may mga student naman na hindi ganun, mahiya makipag-interact sa mga teacher kasi minsan hindi sila approachable, hindi sila open. Yes. So next one is, what is the level of the academic performance of the third year Radiologic Technology students? The third is there a significant relationship between the factors of social relationships and the academic performance of the third year Radiologic Technology students? Yan, gusto din namin makuha yung significance ng kung may factor ba talaga ang social relationship ng mga student when it comes to sa academic performance nila as third year Radiologic Technology students. Lastly is, does the level of social relationship significantly influence the academic performance of the third year technology students? So we have this hypothesis. Hypothesis 1 is there's no significant relationship between the factors of social relationships and the academic performance of the third year Radiologic Technology students. Hypothesis 2 is the level of social relationship does not significantly influence the academic performance of the third year Radiologic Technology students.
For the significance of the study, we believe that our study could provide a valuable source of information and can contribute a new knowledge to our institution, as well as it could be beneficial for the Radiologic Technology students, as this study could help them to be aware on the effect of social relationship on their academic performance, as well as they can share their experiences and opinions. Next is for the clinical instructors. They will also be aware of their students' academic behavior, and this will have a significant impact on their plans and strategies in building relationships with their students. As well as in the Radiologic Technology program, they will become aware of their students' academic behavior, and they will be encouraged to pay more attention on their students and to provide advice and encouragement so that they can perform better in their academics, making an encouraging environment. Next is, this would be beneficial for the school administration. This can give them insights to analyze how social relationship can affect their students and further develop ideas. And also, for the future researchers, this can contribute to future studies, and they will be more aware of this existing phenomenon, and also this will provide knowledge about the studies focusing on social relationships and additional informations about the academic performance of the students. Next slide. Next slide. For our research design, we will employ a quantitative and descriptive correlational approach. We will use the descriptive approach since this will help our study. This will help us to explain the hypothesis and our objectives, especially the survey method with a structured questionnaire to provide us more accurate interpretation regarding the factors of social relationship affecting academic performance. And on the other hand, the correlational approach will help us to understand more about the relationship of the factors of social relationship and academic performance, and to determine whether there is correlation or not. And for the research setting, we will be conducting our study in the private higher education institution located at General Malvar Street, Poblacion District, Davao City, Philippines. We chose this institution since it is one of the top performing schools
in Philippines in the field of radiology technology, and where we are currently enrolled. So this will make for less difficult for us to gather data. Next is the participants. We will use a stratified random sampling, and we came up with 107 third-year radiologic technology students of the academic year 2023 to 2024 using the Sloven's formula. But this number of respondents is subject to change because we do not know yet who will enroll for the next school year. And we will administer the stratified random sampling technique by considering each section of the third year level, as a strata, and then each strata will be selected randomly. Each strata will be selected. There will be a respondent on each strata that is selected randomly, and we will select them by a roulette. So that's how we will employ the certified random sampling, so that there will be no bias. For the research measures, we employed an adapted questionnaire from Charles Wiesice in 2021 with his approval. And the adapted questionnaire has a Cronbach's alpha of 0.82, which means that it has a very good internal consistency. And in order to assess the academic performance of the students, the researchers will gather the general weighted average of the academic year 2022 and 2023. Next slide, please. So this is the reliability test of the research instrument. The result is 0.82, which means that it is accepted and reliable. And in this image, this is the email consisting the approval of the owner of the research instrument, resulting, in return, we will acknowledge him in our paper.
Isa na siya, Amerikano.
Si Charles Wiesice. Tanzania siya.
Oh, hindi siya busy, no?
Dugay lang siya reply gamay.
Next.
So in measuring our social relationship, we're going to be using a 5-point Likert scale, where 5 has a descriptive equivalent of strongly agree, and 4 is agree, 3 is undecided, 2 disagree, and 1 is strongly agree. And in chapter 3 of interpreting our data, we're going to be using a range of means of 1 to 5. 1 to 1.8 is very low, while 1.8 to 2.6 is low, 2.6 to 3.4 is moderate, and 3.4 to 4.2 is high, and 4.1 is 5 is very high. And with their corresponding interpretation, where very high indicates that the respondent has a very good level of social relationships, while high, this indicates that the respondent has a good level of social relationship, while moderate indicates the respondent has an acceptable level of social relationships, while low indicates that the respondent has a poor level of social relationship, while very low indicates that the respondent has a very poor level of social relationship. So in the grades, we are going to be using percentage, where 75% is the lowest, or has a descriptive equivalent of poor, while 75 to 79 is fair, 80 to 84 is average, 85 to 89 is above average, 90 to 94 is outstanding, while 95 to 100 is excellent.
So that's the end of our presentation. Thank you.
Ano mo, no?
Yes, ma'am.
Ito ang... Okay lang mo na, Bek. Kasi, una ko, ito ang mga share ha?
Ano na? Ikaw ang
Listen.
di ba siya ang share?
Ikaw ba yung research clinic?
Oh, ikaw ang share.
Oh.
Pero naman Orion.
Ano na lang po, sila si Amper, no?
Yes, ma'am.
Well, so the issue, what prompted you to conduct the study?
In this slide,
Gusto man, may personal, issue?
personal issue?
Saan?
Yes, ma'am. Speak kasi our English dapat.
Ha?
English dapat.
English, please.
Okay.
Sorry.
So, as personal experience, I've seen students who have doesn't have much friends. They don't have any friends to interact with. And I've seen students that doesn't have poor relationship with their family, especially their parents. I've noticed they have low grades. There are also students that have a bad relationship with their parents and many having a bad influence of friends. Yet they still also have a good academic performance. So with this study, we can determine if social relationships really have an impact on their academic performance.
Okay. So, okay lang mag-ask lang ko. Just a follow-up question. You said that you wanted to determine if social relationships have an impact on the academic performance of the students. Let me just clear this. You're not going to compare students who have Bisaya na nasa ako may kanakay ba si Madlisod kukul sa English. Kaning i-clear lang na ko ha. You are not going to measure the academic performance of the students sa kani sila nga group kay wala yung social relationships tapos kani is na yung social relationships dili ka na ang inyong aim sa study. You just wanted to determine the impact.
Yes,
Okay.
yes, sir.
Sige.
Ay, ano mo gusto sila? Ano na pagkaon? Tanawa na.
Tama niya yung gibuhat. Tama siya.
Tama ka rin yung gayupan pa.
Huwag mo pamutano.
Tama, nahilo ko ma. Saan kasi kita yung po?
Nawala na ang chairman.
Wala. Dapat pinakain. Sige, sige po.
Kanang i-clear lang, ipa-clear lang ako sa ila ma'am if they just wanted to see if nabay impact ng social relationships sa academic performance. Kay ang title pa naman good itself, mura magud ang ilang mong ginatanaw is they wanted to compare students who have no social relationships and students who have social relationships. Kay kwan man siya factors affecting.
Sa actually,
Sir Christian po, Balolo.
actually akong gitanaw sa ilahang conceptual framework kung ano siya, ang ilahang study, murag ang direction ani, gusto nila may balaan kung naabay relationship ang factors of social relationship and academic performance. Mo maning sa inyo ang sige labi, can you tell me about your study kung kasi gusto niyo may tabo? Kasi tawagon ako, Betty, sa isa si Armendaren.
What we want to achieve with our study is that we want to see if these social relationships, as mentioned earlier, do have a significant effect on the academic performance of the radiologic technology.
Significant. Gusto niyo may balaan kung ang social relationship may significant effect?
Yes.
Pero, kung tanaw na to sa inyong conceptual framework, lahi, o sa inyong SOP.
Yeah.
O tanawaw, sa conceptual framework, o independent variable, dependent variable. Gusto ninyo may balaan, you want, based on your conceptual framework, you wanted to know if there is a relationship between peer relationship and academic performance, family members, academic performance, and teacher-student relationship, and academic performance. Dili siguro factors affecting.
Yeah.
But
Broad
Dapat
about
social relationship and academic performance.
So,
Factors of, tapos, tanggalin ang affecting
And social relationships.
So, bali, ang title ninyo,
Social relationships and academic performance.
Oo.
Ano din na,
Yes po.
ano na yung title?
Can I also suggest, ma'am, tanggalin na lang nila yung third year Bachelor of Science. Maybe they could just put social relationships and academic performance of radiologic technologies
Ano na lang, specify ninyo dito sa participants.
sa participants na lang.
Okay.
Sige po.
Ang title, social relationship and
Academic performance
of
Of
Radiologic technology students.
Okay, sige. Sa introduction ta. So, based, okay na sa title. So, what is the problematic situation? Why did you from studying this kind of study? Asa ba yung problema? Dahil, nga nung nakaingon mo nga, kanya mo ang studyhan na.
As a experienced Gascon,
Gascon?
as a experienced as a third year student of radiologic technology, I have encountered those kind of issues regarding social relationship that affected my academic performance, especially when the classes were online and social interactions were limited, and only family members are my only way of interaction, and not person-to-person interaction with my peers and my teachers. And it's really different when it comes to face-to-face learning, where social relationship is more close compared to online setting.
Wait lang. Kaning balik na sa conceptual framework ha. Kaning factors of social relationship. Did you find any studies that link social relationship from academic performance?
Yes,
Yes po, ma'am. Yung kay Wizice Charles, ma'am, where the research instrument came from, his study is about social relationship and academic performance po.
Sino mo?
Sanchez.
Sanchez. Okay, so katong giningon ni Gascon, wala man po siya dire sa first paragraph. So make it sure to place the problematic situation in the first paragraph of the background of the study.
Yes, first.
Okay? And then, sa second paragraph naman, it should be international studies. However, ila naman ni ang inyong international studies. You should add 5 more international studies sa second paragraph. In the third paragraph should be your national studies, and then your fourth will be the local, and then research gap and significance. So what is your research gap?
So there are no current data that focuses mainly on this demographic of students na college na sila, tapos more rigorous pa gyud na program, especially kay college na as mentioned, and since medyo demanding sad na program ang radiologic technology.
Kasi wala lang may nabasahan. That is not a research gap. Kung makaingon mo, walay study ani. When you say research gap, yun ang mga problems na hindi na solve ng previous authors na gusto ninyong i-apply sa inyong study. Yan ang research gap. Eh, pwede mo itong makaingon, wala may study sa nursing. Wala study sa medtech. So, dili nga ng research gap. So, usapan na ninyong research gap, actually you can look for the research gap sa sa recommendations on the last part of the paper. Actually, your paper should start with a research gap.
We put the research gap at the end po, ma'am.
Dili. Ang akong pasabot, ang research gap, gika na siya sa recommendations from the previous authors. Di mo kayo nga, there is no recent data. Wala lang yung nabasahan. Diba? And more on replication mo na siya. Dili na siya research gap. So, mali na yung research gap. And napansin ako, one siya, dapat walang page number sa introductory page. Oo. And then, naka 6 edition pa mo. APA edition. Please use APA 7th edition to cite. Ganyan, daghan na ka 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Dapat, tulong pa lang, ano na, et al na. Sa i-google na.
As
Faculty.
far as we know, ma'am, ang advice po sa amin, ma'am, is pag first pa na use ang
First na mention.
first pa na
Six pa
mention.
yan. 6 yan.
Ah.
6 yan. Pag tatlo, automatic et al.
Okay, ma'am.
Yung research gap, dapat na anay citation, ha? Kung kinsa ang nag-ingon,
Yes, ma'am.
kasi ang nag-recommend.
And then, also, walang synthesis ang yung RL. By the way, saan si May Shara Moore? Ikaw dahil si estudyante mo tamo, di ba?
Opo.
Naroon tamo nakitaan. Okay. Sa theoretical framework, why did you choose the social exchange theory?
Can I back her up?
Siya sa...
Okay.
Wala siya grade.
Yan, social exchange.
Because
In your own words, ha? Ayaw basa, ha? Dapat tubalo ka na kayo mo na study. Wala? O sige, ikaw.
sige ma'am.
So, ma'am, social exchange theory emphasizes on the cost and benefit. So, will a student benefit by maintaining or forming relationships, or will it cost them something, negatively cost or possibly benefit? Like, if they hang out with people who diligently study, they might benefit from also they'll get influenced by the good habits of those group. So it benefits them. There are also types of relationship that would cost them, but it depends on their definition of cost and benefit. Their definition of benefit, their kind of benefit may be they may have more fun in this particular group than this group who diligently studies. So with the social exchange theory, we can evaluate the effects of the social relationship on the academic performance.
Ano yung last name?
Perma.
Kasi leader niya.
Sanchez po.
So, conceptual framework.
Si Norn, anything to add, Norn, sa sabi niya para may grade ka?
Wala po. Another question na.
Another question na.
Opo.
Pass. Conceptual framework. Naman ni ano no? Na-back up man ni study no? Itong social relationship, itong mga peer relationship, family members, teacher-student relationship.
Yes, ma'am. Sa
You have question here for that.
Yes,
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 ma'am.
ma'am. Yes, ma'am.
Nadere.
Yes, ma'am.
Yes, ma'am. You have attached it.
Muna itong bisilatan niya ito kay Lia. Ano siya?
Yes.
Yes, ma'am.
Okay, so pag na relationship, mag-regression dahil sila.
Progression sila.
Right. Same sa comment or manundog.
Kaya ako kanang tanggalan kanang bit at the very first year, chapter 1, tanggalan ninyo ng page number din
Yes, ma'am.
ha. Same sa nga chapter 2, basta chapter 1, wala din na siya page number. Tapos sa background of the study, we try to read. Diyan mo dapat nakapresent yung problematic situation. Pero diri, murag wala ko makita ng problematic situation. Nag-define lang sa social relationship, na home environment, involves parent, wala siya, mangita mag mga, studies na may issue, na ang bata, nag-away siyang parent, tapos, bagsak mga anak na kaya ba? Ha? Let's involve. Wala mo ko na din eh. Ako na din eh.
So we can put
Pwede naman siya i-add ba sa
Oo.
background.
Ako may mas ko unhealthy social. O kana, di na tayo sa atake. So,
Okay.
based sa first paragraph.
Yes.
Ha? Tapos, avoid one paragraph, one author. Kasi ako, isa ka paragraph sa author lang. Usually, sa isa ka paragraph, tulong, pat, i-emerge niyo ilang mga idea. Tapos, so, kunyari, at the start of the paragraph, magputang ng mga linking words na likewise, in addition, para mag-connect-connect ng study ay mga paragraph. Tapos, kalitis naman sila, kung nasa last one, there are several conflicting studies in this field. Pwede ba na problematic?
Amo nila po. Ay,
research.
Research gap din ay.
Nang mali lang yan ang ibutang sa
Kuan lang, kaning dangerous man gud daw ni sa mga tumulo. There is no data, recent data. Dapat na-adjud mo kuan. Kanang na-adjud mo yung author, pang panilan mo, isa may na.
Pero patong there are several conflicting studies. Pwede naman siya
Pwede na siya, pwede
na
na
mali
siya.
lang butang diri sa
So, pwede na siya maano, di ba, based on.
sige daw, i-explain na ninyo ni kaning several conflicting studies. Bakit ito research gap ito? Nor?
Kasi may mga studies kasi po na yung example is young students parent and yung sa peers, sa family. Kaya yun yung naging study kasi gusto namin malaman yung kung may
I am asking about
sorry, ma'am.
about this, itong paragraph na ito, these are itong several conflicting studies. Bakit ganito ang research gap? Hindi ko tinatanong kung anong gusto ninyo. Bakit ito research gap ninyo? Ano pa lang sinabi nila? Ito.
Ano din? Sa
Ayun.
mo nila sa mga author.
Sa first mentioned author, it states that there are no negative impact of peers sa academic performance of the students, and likewise the next citation is that the academic performance of the student is only reliant on the parents lang, na unsa ang parenting style sa parent, unsa ang pag-cope sa emotions sa student, and sa ilang ways sa pag-support sa ilang children.
And then, bakit yan ang research gap ninyo? Ano palang gusto nyo gawin sa study nyo? Kasi nakita nyo na yan. So, now what will you do in your study?
We want to find out, ma'am, if there is really a positive or negative effect of the social relationship on their academic performance po in the radiologic
Hindi
technology.
man ang inyong study. Dahil man inyong study, you wanted to know if there is a relationship between the social factors social relationship factors and the academic performance.
Yung mga parent na.
Or parent to student positive relationships mo din. So, kulang.
Kita na lang mulain. Ha?
Ayaw kawala. Focus mo sa inyong conceptual. Kaya naman gusto niyo conceptual good gikan ang diretso sa inyong study. Which is kani tanawon ninyo una by relationship ang factors of social relationship between academic performance.
Tapos, in fairness sa inyo ha, kaya ganis kalik, ganing ano good, sa inyo ang author, nagid siya sa ano, sa reference. Make sure siya na dapat kung saan na
Check na ng mga
yes, pata siya. So, kani, format lang na. Like, di ba kani social relationship, that is the, di ba, variable ninyo. Under ninyo ang peer, di ba? So, dapat mag-indent, no? Bis, no? I-sigo into. Indent siya, kay under man siya. Isang variable man siya. I-indent niyo si family members, si parent. So, teacher, student. Tapos,
Okay. Ang akin, ang comment ko lang is, for your background of the study, you need to change all of this. Kasi I don't see any sense of urgency in conducting this study. Kasi we wanted to make sure here that when you make a research paper, this is not a total waste of time. The way I can suggest this to you is to make sure that you can focus on allied health college students. I don't want to see grade 12 students, elementary students, secondary students. I want to see college students. Like, let's say for example, you can look for studies that, let's say for example, pag wala kaayo'y parental support ang mga students, what is their impact in terms of their grades? So lower parental support garners them with lower grades based on this study. Maybe you could look on that. Kasi you only discuss it on a descriptive level. You were not able to discuss it on a correlational level, which is, the tendency is when you go into the results of your study, it will double your time. Usik siya, kumbaga. I wasn't able to see also the correlations in terms of your variables. Kaya nga, yung maganda yung ginawa ninyo that you try to emphasize conflicting studies but you only discuss it on a narrative level. You weren't able to discuss it maybe on an interpretative and maybe on an applied level. I wasn't able to see that. So maybe you can consider exploring things like kung lower ang ilahang social relationships, what might be the impact in terms of grades? You can look at on the structural level, you can look at an international, national, and local level. Yes, it's true that there are still no studies conducted in terms of this aspect. But you can look on allied health courses. Marami yan siya. Okay? Para in kaso lang baka nang clear ang atong direction dari ama. Next is RRL. You only discussed it on a definition level. I don't want to see RRLs discussed on a definitive level. I wanted to see that you are discussing it on a results-oriented level. Kasi the purpose of the RRL is para pag mag-abot mo sa pag mag-abot sa time na mag-discuss na mo, kuha na lang mo. Dili na hago, 'di ba? Kay mag-ano na lang mo mag-quote na lang mo mga data na naadali. Maybe you can consider figures, maybe you can consider charts, kanila. Okay man na you discuss it on a definitive level, but add more. In terms of your theoretical framework, I suggest you remove social exchange theory because this theory just talks about the risk-benefit level. We're not talking here about we're talking about risks, but we're talking here about the correlation. Maybe my suggestion, you can consider Bronfenbrenner psychological theory. Nice na siya. Okay, social relationships man yung ginatanaw. Ano siya? Maybe you can consider Bronfenbrenner's ecological theory. Then for your ang conceptual framework ninyo, make sure, dili na kaning ani ha?
IPO.
Dili po. Kanang naka-text box yun siya. Kay kani, this is a screenshot. Mm-mm. Careful lang ta kay. We're following the standards in the DDC Research Manual. Tapos, ay, ano ba? Significance of the study, you need to arrange it. Nakabutang na day ko isang arrangement, ha? Kato na sa for
Ito, same lagi ako na, katong page number. Tapos, methods ba?
Methods.
With the S ha? With the S.
With the S.
Tapos, this quantitative research will employ a descriptive correlation of design na butang na. Tapos, nga ka na, butang og mga literatures about what is a descriptive correlational. Tapos, iyan ninyo sa study ninyo. And then, kani ba, Cherry 2022, pag nanaw na ko, kanaganing mga very well mind, kanang marag ano lang siya ba? Kanang blog? Ano siya blog? Marag article na kanang basic lang dun sa mga ano. Hindi pwede, no?
Hindi na mag-publish study.
Oo, publish study. Careful mo sa inyong mga sources. Kanang very well mind, nakatanaw mo pwede niya. Kanang kuha na siya, di ba? Kanang sa internet website lang. Dami ng mga studies about correlation, may mga literature about correlation of studies. Ito lang po sa mga publish lang. Na, oo, Google Scholar, naman man. Ayaw na sa mga kanang mga makuha lang nyo sa site, di ba? Tapos kuha, bigay na siya author and degree. Careful lang mga na, ito mo sa mga publish with study na. Duda ba ko cherry mo kailan niya? Tapos sa research setting, will be conducted. The research study will be future ta dapat conducted. So kaya pa man proposal pa man, so i-execute pa man ninyo, so dapat will be tanan dire mga will be tanan. Ha? So ano pa man siya, buhaton pa. So aside sa top performing, isa sa top performing, sa kay reason ninyo nganong dahodok yung ikuha setting.
For convenience na lang po, ma'am. Kaya dari man po din nag-study.
Hindi pwede ganyan. Bias ganyan, ha? It should
Pwede
be
rin po
justified.
other school, ma'am.
Wala po yung schools doon po sa Davao, ma'am, na nag-ano o RadTech po. Marag, ang closest yata na RadTech is either Butuan or Cagayan po.
Walang Pedro.
May
San
SPC.
Pedro.
Oh,
Ay,
San Pedro.
Amnia. Ay, JNC. Pero hindi, even
Tama.
kahit dito lang kayo, you just include
Huwag din mo nag-research ba?
Kuha? Kanang inclusion pa sa inyong criteria. You just need to justify and include that in your narrative discussion.
Ayaw yung ibutang ang never din mo mag-mention of convenience. Okay, ano na
It's
siya.
a no-no. Tapos,
dapat map sa Davao. Ito rin, tama na unta, no? Map sa Philippines. Yung map sa Davao. Ha?
same size yan sila, ha?
Same size.
Map sa Davao, so
Ayaw mo kang i-read daw mga space,
Oo. Kung ingani,
Ibalik na lang.
kung ingani, kailangan
Adjust the discussion. It's
Asan pa
either
ninyo? Asa ninyo ni-study? Or asa isibo ba niyo? Basta never dyan mo maghatag ka ng ingani kung maglibog na ko kayo space. Para ani, namin na po na space. Bungag dyan mo ani. Tapos, participants will be the third year radiology technology students. Tapos nga nang stratified random siya. Sige daw.
Kuan po, ma'am. According to Sanchez po, ma'am.
Sanchez.
Armendares po.
Armanda. Thank you. Ikaw, Deborah.
Minawag, lalaki ni.
According to statistics po, ma'am. Stratified random sampling is non-biased sampling technique, and then we consider the each third year sections, ma'am, as a strata, and then in each strata there will be respondents po.
Ay, pwede clarify na ma'am, kung simple manggod ma'am, i-randomly pick na mo ang tibok no, simple random, na isa ka section nga dagan mig participants pa ko kaysa sa uban, so medyo bias siya.
Ano mabayas man na, gamay raman, ang strata, dako kay na nga population ng kinahanglan. Halimbawa, District 1, District 2, District 3. Kanya ka na, third year level naman, okay na naman na.
So simple na lang.
Simple.
Simple random.
Simple random sampling. Which is para dili jud siya bias po, you can add inclusion and exclusion
Bias
criteria.
kaya nga random sampling. Pag mo gamit mo stratified, dako yung population.
Dako siya.
Daghan mo schools. Nga
Ah,
naman,
okay.
Isa ka course man, first year. Isa second year.
Per program.
Pero nga na, isa ka level lang man mo. Simple. Tapos, ay naman measures. Nakita na akong ebidensya na nagsulat sila. And follow the format sa inyong ano. Sige, pakitaan ka naman katong sample sa kanang di mo good siya, does not have to parang occupy the whole page na siya mura ganun, gamay lang ng form, hindi lang makita ng format. Tapos form consent kasi yung ano na dyan parang naka-letter na naka-enumerate so may form sa format nakaingani ng
Pagkwan.
Yeah.
so kani
Wala siya na-justify.
Nice.
So, lang sa proper formatting, as much as possible, pag na-space, i-fill it din mo siya. So, it's either you add a little more discussion para ma-really obvious yung space na. Or pag mahangkot siya, i-adjust mo din yung discussion bago sa akin kung excess, palit siya mo jump sa next page.
yun na to okay yun ang list
Ako, sige, isa-isa ko lang po kakagana. Masaktan ninyo ha.
10 more to go pa mo.
Okay lang, no worries. As a method, as a research design, you need to make sure that when you discuss descriptive correlational research design, you can use RE studies na lang to cite correlational designs, descriptive correlational designs. Let's say, for example, nato isa ka study, they wanted to use descriptive correlational design. If they also wanted to see if academic performance ba will predict or will correlate to their career choices in their once they graduate. Mga na mga studies para mas nindot ang pag-discuss nila. Ilahi mo ko na pag-contextualize ana. On the research design, do not be too explicit with the location, with the yung parang pag-describe niyo dito ba. Maybe what I can suggest is you can label them as school A. You can label them as school A. Tapos unsa na nag-offer ba sila og kadang radiologic technology students? And then in terms of your participants, it was already resolved that we will use simple random sampling. But my suggestion, you can include inclusion and exclusion criteria. Like let's say for example, the ones who will only be considered in the conduct of the study are regular third-year students. Those who do not meet the criteria are not included in the conduct of the study. Research measures. Na ako'y question. You said here that you are going to utilize an adapted questionnaire. My question here is on to what extent have you arrived to a statement that it is adapted? May gi-change ba kayo na wordings? May gitanggal ba kayo? May gitanggal kayo? May gi-change kayo na wordings? Ayan. My suggestion, do not use adapted. Use the word adopted. Lahat ba? Oo. Dapat ko'y question. Similar context ba ang questionnaire?
Yes po, sir.
Isang apelyido. O say, apelyido sa author gani.
Precise po.
Ha?
Precise.
Letter W. Unaw na to ha kay manigurado lang ta kay kasi in kaso i-publish din ninyo in the future. Asa man diri, wala man. Atay mo diha. Unsay title ato? I-next daw. Unsay title ato? Tanaw na to ha kay para basin mag-validity test mo tapos ang ending mausik ra inyong effort ana. Sige. The impact of social relationships on students' academic performance. Okay. Sige, okay naman ma'am, no, if they will use the word adopted, but they will also use it as, they will subject it to a validity test. Okay, lahi man ang context sa Mero District o sa Davao Doc. Kato, mag-validity test mo, may suggestion, you can make use of inter-rater validity and content, criterion related validity. Basta kato siya. Subject lang na siya. Basta, tudlan na tama na in the future. Kana. Sige, i-adopted, pero i-subject lang gyapon niyo siya o validity test. No need for reliability man, no? Kaya na-establish na adopted lang gyapon. Just for validity lang. Tapos, follow the Davao Doctors College format of tables. Yan. Tapos, ethical considerations, check DDC Research Manual. Hindi lahat ng provisions naka-state dito. Including disposal of raw data. Included. Research procedure, nag-comment na sila. Statistical tool, unsa na regression na inyong gamiton? Is it linear regression or multiple? Sige, ani na lang. Unsa ang inyong gusto? Unsa ang inyong dito na to din sa SOP ba? SOP. Ka-joke lang lang. Asa sa page na siya rin. Does the level significantly influence? Mag-ano na lang sila, no? Linear na lang kayo. Mag-linear regression.
Hindi ka mag-class na regression. Pinaka-simple na regression is linear.
Linear na lang. Okay. Significant influence naman ninyo tanawon. Dili man ninyo tanawon ko on to what specific domain or indicator ang nag-predict sa ani. So mag-linear na lang sa ani.
Para mausap na yung design na sa final. Depende mo kung nasan yung result. Kung wala significant relationship, saka mo mag-regression. Pero kung wala significant relationship, wala na. Diyan na kutob, di na mo maka-regression. So kung maka-regression mo, ang inyong design is descriptive, predictive na.
May suggestion, tanggalan na lang po ninyo si standard deviation.
Oh.
Dili man ninyo tanawon magud ang deviation sa academic performance sa mga bata. Diba? Tapos tama di ay kanipa, di ba jiwa ang inyong gamiton as secondary data. You also need to emphasize in the ethical considerations and your research measures in terms of requesting for the secondary data. At stake ba yung public interest anak, grades ba yan na siya? So you need to specify the protocols in terms of requesting for the secondary data. The first data is, usa ba na siya? Online form sa inyong gamiton? Google form mo? Google form.
Masulat din niya sa ilahan.
Ano? Unsa man?
Google Form.
Okay. Sige, butang lang po ninyo diri adat. The primary data which is asa man to siya? Katong social relationships will be administered via online forms. On the other hand, the academic performance will make use of the secondary data which will be requested to the blah 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 blah. Dito na mo magratsyada kung unsay procedure ana, letter of endorsement mo diri after letter of endorsement i-forward man ninyo dito sa registrar's office. You just have to be very careful lang kay maybe in the future if you will publish papers, tanawon mo gud nilang protocols na inyong ginabuhat. Tanggalan niyo si standard deviation, tapos diri sa Pearson product moment correlation, please specify kung unsa na on to what extent are you going to determine the significant relationship. Is it 0.05 or 0.01? I-specify ninyo diri. Pwede mo na i-open and close parenthesis ninyo. Anyway, your advisor is well-versed naman in terms of statistics, so you can specify it. Okay? Kato na siya. Then references mo na.
Ganun underline.
Ano?
Ganun na yung underline.
Tanggalan natin. Feeling na ko, gikuanin ninyo ba Wala ni ninyo gikuha sa Google Scholar na kana naka-citation. Nag-citationmachine.net mo no.
Sa Google Scholar, meron na. I-right click lang yung nakalimutan.
May nakakuan dito.
Baba.
Naka-complete.
Automatic copy citation.
Kasi si citationmachine.net kasi ginasali nila ito which is SAPA 70 siya nasali.
Alam mo, hindi na ang ipilisan din. Copy-paste na siguro sila.
O, i-upload mo sa plagiarism ha.
Para Facebook.
Para po may issue tayo.
Yeah. And anyway, kung mag-cite naman ng problematic situations, you can make use of, there's a new tool here, just going to introduce, Ask Seneca. AskSeneca.com. Ask Seneca. Okay, anyway, other publishers, they usually accept AI-generated contents naman. But make sure to just replace it. Okay. Tingnan ko.
Okay. So, for chapter 2, kindly use future tense in this chapter kasi naman ba naka past tense. Natarong ukupya. Kawas naman sa mga ninyong bibuha niyo. Etong kaniging dako nga blanco, it's either dugangan na ninyo or etong map, ibutang niyo direct. Ayaw pag-leave o kanang dako nga blanco. And then side by side, dili ng pareho ni. Dari ang Philippines, dari ang Davao. And then use a simple random. For the ethical considerations, I made a template for this. So I will give Lenny the template so that you can use it. Kompleto na siya. Para next sem, kung magpa-ERC, magpa-ethics review mo, hindi lang magka-problema. And I have a question diyan. Kani inyong sa grades gani, sa inyong descriptive equivalent, pareho naman ang excellent at outstanding. What's the difference between excellent and outstanding? Di ba pareho naman sila? Excellent and outstanding is the same. So, it's either kaning 95 to 100, piliin ninyo outstanding ba or excellent. And then sunod is above average, and then average, and then mangita na mo, it's either satisfactory, tapos fair, then poor. Pwede mo mag-insert of satisfactory. Okay. Listen, be yourself. So, tanggalo ng ha. So, it's either excellent or outstanding. Kaya pareho rin sila. So, excellent, above average, average, satisfactory, fair, poor. Or di kaya, tanggalo ni satisfactory, fair, poor, very poor. Ano na lang. Kaya murag ang fair, satisfactory, pareho na sila. So, excellent, above average, average, fair, poor, very poor. Okay? And then, since si Sir Galolo man ang mag-stat ani, during your final defense, I need to see the assumptions of Pearson R and the regression. Kasi, dili lang man good Pearson ang gamito ninyo. Namang ibang data na dili siya tawag nun, dili siya normal. So, mugamit mo experiment row. So, dili gyud tanan nga pag significant relationship Pearson R na ang gamiton. Naiuban mo gamit ang Spearman row kay dili normal ang distribution sa data. So, tell Sir Galolo that your panel wants to C. The assumptions of Pearson R. Nganong Pearson R ang gigamit? So, kung wala na fulfill ang assumption, then use the non-parametric counterpart, which is the Spearman law.
Would that apply to ano mo brand? Kasi very limited ang variables na gigamit nila.
Wala, di man.
Okay.
Sa ano na siya, sa data na siya mismo. Kung sa kadagan, sa young respondents, kasagaran kung daghan,
So third year lang. Third year lang po.
Third year lang.
okay lang.
Okay.
Kung third year lang, na possibility nga, gamay lang ang ilahang respondents, more dili normal ang ilang study, ang ilang data, dili mo makagamit og Pearson, magamit mo Spearman. Wa mo gud gagamit og Spearman gud kay ang uban mo gud
Assuming na uniform.
Assume na uniform na yung Pearson R dayon, dili nga na. Okay? Kabalo na si Sir
Percent lang man
Ma'am
sa
Daniel, I
statistician.
also have a question. Pagdating dun sa regression, sa linear regression, ma'am, do they need to look at 4 assumptions or
Assumptions
do
po.
they just need to look at the linearity and normality lang?
The linearity. Pwede naman nga na. Since ano man sila, undergrad naman, tarawon lang ang linearity, ang normality, o
Homeostaticity?
o kanang mo kito linearity, labay relationship.
Sperman o
So,
si
yan.
person o si sperman.
And then sa lastly, sa scope and limitations, ulang mo design. Mausap ni siya, pag wala relationship, descriptive correlation. Pero pag naa, descriptive correlation. Wala na rin, parang wala na.
Ma'am,
So you prepare minutes ha, based on the suggestions. So i-summarize the minutes.
Ma'am Dan,
We have minutes
I
form
suggest
data
ilan na
to
lang
set it.
i-specify kung unsa na assumptions kay para ikasog ka na magamit sila og alternative na kanang statistical tool at least dili lang sila og mawala. O what is it?
Unsa ka kasi butang na to?
Kaning assumptions na type na.
Kato na lang ang assumptions. Kato
Butang
na
ang
lang.
assumptions. Ibutang lang ninyo sa linear regression na kung say assumptions na kung para in kaso magamit jud mo Spearman law, should there be any cases lang dili mi mawala kay para at least masabtan na namo na ana the constraints na present.
Dito na ibutang sa data analysis. Wala mo daw gahi mo ana diri. So dapat magsugod na ta og ingana para ma-level up.
Ma-level up siya, ma-level up.
This is to determine the backlog with assumption na ganito. Alright. So, okay. Give them a minute. Diyan lang mo sa atin para mag-deliberate sila.
30 seconds.
Sige na ba?
So, barring sa pagkaon niya.
Bigyan na sa inyo gamit ko. Balik naman tayo.
Sa dating mga
Sayonara.
Bye pa ba tayo?